What's up, guys? So thank you for clicking on the video. In this one, we're going to talk about the bezels, the timelines, when things are shipping. You guys are wondering, where's the bezels? She is responsible. No? How the shipments are coming in. I'm going to show you the inside of the shipping process, things that we are having to go through. So we're going to show you all that stuff, talk about mounting, things with hardware, everything I want you guys to know about the bezels, and that's all this video is about. So stick around. You're watching KnightDriveTV.
I always wanted to build fast cars, so self-taught I started with engine swaps, composites in my apartment, to multiple shops, tuning, fabrication, and more. 10 years later, the big time, SEMA, Speed TV, I climbed from nothing, but I lost it all. This is my new ride, KnightDriveTV. When failure is not an option, us car guys keep banging the gears of life.
Well, guys, I should let you know that we are now having a Facebook Live every Friday in the KnightDriveTV Corvette Enthusiast group. We're holding it every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to try and give you live updates week in, week out on all the projects that KnightDriveTV has. I want to thank you for joining me in this video. We are finally wrapping up the entire bezel situation, and we are moving on to bigger and better things, some of which I am telling people about and some of which I am not. So yeah, she's gonna have to have multiple lists. We got blue coin list, black coin list. So that's why this process, as fast as she can go, is one thing, but to not make mistakes and to be thorough with like what people get, because she has to make a decision. A box can get up to 3 things. Obviously you can get, every box gets bezels, but only some of those boxes get brackets, and only some of those boxes get coins as well. So it varies. So we have them all boxed here. We have a bunch, and obviously you can see we have them already bagged. So these can allow enough room for brackets and the coin. You're going to be taking a picture of every box, correct? So
I mean, the first guy is not on this list.
the first guy's not on the list.
Yeah.
Wissing. Is that Wissing? Well, I have to print you out a list of all the black coin members, and either we can compare everybody that's supposed to get a black coin to that list to everybody that has been sent one. Then we'll know that you could immediately have a list that identifies who needs one. You could do it that way.
But how do I start packing right now then? I need that list
What list?
of all the black founding members.
Okay, so you're going to compare that list to who's gotten a coin, and then we're going to end up with a list of people who
Still need one.
still need a coin, and that'll be easier for you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the process to get all the bezels out. Obviously, glad that we're getting them out. Super pumped about that, but I'm trying to convey to people that there's definitely a process to this, and choosing to send the coins before, it's something I personally chose. I because of the timelines, I wanted everybody to at least have that piece of something. Obviously, I could have held them all, saved a lot of money. Oh Jesus, we got to be 0.50. Oh yeah, it's still 0.47. How did it not add anything?
I don't know.
On shipping, because I probably spent I think $3,000 or something shipping all those out of pocket. So it represents a loss to me off of the product, but obviously the timeline, we all have to make concessions. You guys were patient and waited. I had made concessions to ship the coins at my own cost and just try to give you something in hand. But obviously we're gonna get all this sorted. I have to print her out this thing. You got pens. This pen is whack. It's like not that good. All right, I'll print you the list. Your list.
Thank you.
You feel important? Do you feel like a significant peg in the world of Corvette?
No.
No? Why? You're finding people, I hope. Or we're really in big trouble.
Yeah, everyone that I put a mark next to is someone that is on here, hasn't gotten their coin yet.
As you know, some people are getting brackets, right? They are the group 1 people. So I would suggest going through these, see how many just in this stack of group 1s we have that need brackets, so that we understand how much volume we're going to need just to get through this initial wave, and then we're going to have to just figure out, obviously, filling current headlight orders and things. Most of the headlight orders are up to date, I would say. So how many brackets do we have?
52.
Okay, so we can fill these orders.
Yeah.
So that's where we're going to be at. That's going to be the difficulty. That's what we've been racing against, because as she can vouch, I mean, we had up to, what do you think the peak bracket supply on hand we had was at some point? Like all bulk on the shelf done, and then plus we had enough plastic to build more. What do you think the peak we hit was?
Maybe 250.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You had 250 up top or something, but like plastic on the shelf still.
No, it might have been closer to 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said we needed 300 to 400, and I had 300 up there.
Yeah. So that's all
Gone.
obviously depleted, because as the bezels got delayed through getting them completed. Like I said, the company that I was working with that molded these, they said November. Remember, like we were gearing up, kind of approaching the end of November, thinking that we were going to get the bezels. So that I had her bulk up big time on brackets and focus just on brackets. Well, then when their timeline kept extending, then we went through Black Friday and all that, so it started consuming down the bracket supply. So you can see that's kind of the issue. This is always a balance of how much we can produce, how much we can build, how much we can box, how much we can label, how much we can ship. So we're just going to have to figure it out. We figure everything else out. I mean, however, we have to do it. Inevitably, I knew this crunch was going to happen somewhere. I was really hoping to manage through it. Like I said, hoping that the bezels were done. But people, a lot of good people, they say a lot of things. I mean, most of you guys are pretty supportive and understanding, but the fact is you're going to have those people that, think they have the answers, but that's that. That's the way it goes. You'll never be criticized by someone doing more than you, just less. So, I mean, that's where we're going to be. We're going to try and get this all out, and she's going to pack away. So, yeah, we have brackets up there. Obviously, we've got some being built. It's going to be down to getting machine production as high as we've ever gotten it. I knew that the crunch was going to happen. Just didn't know when, obviously. So the remaining bezels are still on the way here. I had to split the shipment. I've told everybody because of the holiday proximity, the air shipping was like insane money. So I split the shipment. Just told them I wanted to get 100 of them by air, because I kind of wanted to see the consistency as fast as possible. So then the rest were shipped by sea. So they're still in transit here. And, we're going to obviously have a little bit of time to build more brackets until those arrive. So we're just going to have to try and, scale up the amount of machine production we can get. Which we can push the machines harder. She runs 2 cycles a day, and then I don't run them at night. In the past, I used to run 3 cycles a day in a 24-hour period, and I would come upstairs at about between 10 and midnight every night and reset the machines. So between the number of machines and the number of cycles, we can, we're probably only running at like, I would say 1/3 production capacity right now in terms of plastic. So and typically the plastic is outpacing the light pod supply, so it's never really been an issue. But at this point, we're going to have to increase that production over the next week and a half to be in time for when the rest of the square bezels come. Obviously, with round bezels, you don't need new brackets. The round bezels, or the round lights, when I released that kit, it's what basically caused the drop of the bracket to go 5 millimeters because the rounds are a little bit taller and they were hitting the lid. So I dropped everything down 5 millimeters. I was just checking. So these are the production version of the round bezels. And so I'm just taking a look at them, just confirming everything looks good. Making sure everything looks the way it did in the CAD. We can take a look here. Yep, so these are the printed versions here, and you can kind of see maybe, not sure, you can kind of tell that they are the printed ones. And so we can see prototype is on the top. Prototype's on top. So you can see the shapes. I'm trying to peek through the peek through there, see what I'm doing on the screen. But you can see the shapes look pretty accurate. The front view and the size and everything, it's as it should be. I mean, thank God, right? Looking from the back, so I mean, we can see there's a bit of a, I'm trying to block my face, but you can see there's a bit of a thickness. We reduced the thickness of the production ones versus the prototypes. You can see I have a thickness variation there. These were a little too thick to slide into place. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the round ones, just to confirm that we have a good fit. I just gotta make sure. As we can see, my Nassau blue car has been painted. So I have Nassau blue U-clips. So some of you have asked how we're gonna mount these because this, let's see, let me think. Yeah, this one here is pretty low on the outside. And so when the headlights are in sleepy mode, this is about what you see from the fender, and people are like, hey, how are we gonna get to that? We're gonna take it off. So I have it off in this case, but the way that we designed these, and the only way this could be done, being like I said, that this is all you see, like right about here. We have a couple options, and one was to actually share the mounting screw for the outside here, or you can use like a thin VHT, like 3M tape that like carbon parts are attached to the bodies on OEM cars. Believe me, it's plenty capable of doing the job. Let's get it in position here. Yep, so okay, I got a little worried there for a second. We're pretty lined up on this side, line up on the outside. This screw here is not perfect, I will tell you, but the clip moves around. Yeah. Woo! Well, there you go. They are on there. Let me see if I can, these halos are so bright. Let me see if I can do some adjustments here. So there you go. You can see the kind of shape how it fills. And obviously, let me go over here and brighten this up just a wee so you can kind of get a feel of the car and the fitment. They look really good. I mean, must say the rounds are, you know, they're an acquired taste. A lot of people haven't bought the rounds. They're not nearly as popular as the squares, but I must say, I mean, with the bezels, they are really, they look good. I mean, they look very appropriate for the car. I hope you're seeing this. I'm trying obviously to give you a little bit of a variety so that you can kind of get a good idea, because as soon as you brighten the camera's exposure any, I mean, the halos start blinding. Obviously they look good. There's nothing else we can do. That's going to be that. All the bezels have been completed. All the production molds are done. They are all in shipment. They fit really well. I'm happy with them. As with anything, I could have probably put another 20% of time and tweaked the life out of them to get exactness, but I really think compared to even the OEM ones, we're there. So let me talk about some things that I think, you know, I kind of anticipate. I'm seeing some trends in comments, and so it pertains to these bezels. Let's talk about that. Are we in order, you think?
Yeah.
Any issues that you see immediately?
No.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, one. This guy.
Who?
David Everly. He bought 2 founding member bezel options for the round and a square. He had a square kit and a round kit. Bought the square kit back in August of 2022. So
what?
I did send him a black coin because he did opt in.
What are you watching? Are you watching some kind of weird male show about men? You're watching shows about men while you're packing this stuff?
This is Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to put on something I don't pay attention to.
So you fill your brain with the Kardashians of all things while you're
Because
packing.
if I
Sorry,
put on
guys.
anything
Sorry,
remotely
guys.
interesting, I won't pay attention to what I'm doing. I just need background noise.
Sorry, guys. Your stuff's been packed with the Kardashians. A little bit of Kim in that box. Can I stop choking? So we have midday developments. So I've been talking to Ray Saez. You guys may know him from C5 Modified. He's one of my admins, and he's pretty active in the group. He's down there in Florida. He's got a yellow, well, he's got two yellow Z06s actually, C5 and C6. Talked to him a bit here and there. He really goes way back to the beginning. We've been talking about the hardware and the debate of people have lost their hardware. We talked about it just a second ago. And so he kind of piece by piece his headlights back together because he bought his car with like the Frog Eyes, I believe. No, the other kit that had like the PC fan or something in it. You know, he helped me out and he found some stuff. Now, the problem is, it's kind of happened today as we're boxing this, that we just got into this because honestly, guys, I wasn't going to include hardware. So as you may remember, there's, well, obviously with the hood up, you can get to the other one, but they have these little Phillips head little screws here. And they're kind of countersunk, but that's how it's mounted. Now, on this side, what I'm using is, this is actually the screw that mounts the lids, but I was looking for one that is kind of like the other side. And so basically this goes through and attaches the lid itself, but also holds this. And there's enough tension here that it holds. So that's kind of what the discussion was about. This is a last minute development. Some of you guys have already gotten your labels, your notifications, as has Ray, and he's like, yeah, I don't have the screws. So there are places to get the screws online. But it's disappointing when you get these and you guys wait for them and you don't have the hardware. And I know it's going to lead to tons and tons of emails of people like, how do I mount them? What am I supposed to do? So we're kind of doing an audible here right mid video, and I'm going to tell Kelcie about it.
No, it's not just work because they all have labels, which means I have to open them from the bottom.
Yeah, from the bottom. Unless you can treat this like NASA and like solve like an Apollo 11 type problem and come up with some type of special procedure with like a slit and like a long little thing that you put in and it plops it down in and you retract it.
The bag of screws to the top of the box.
To the top of the box?
Yeah.
Like on the outside?
Yeah.
Are you? All right, it is the next day. Rushed the hardware from yesterday, so we're gonna see if what Ray suggested. He was kind of just doing some searching for me. He said, "This is it. This is what you need." So we're gonna find out. Alrighty, so you can see two are shorter, one's longer. The one on the outside has to kind of bridge a gap, so that's why we have one longer one. Hopefully it fits. You know, I must say, these look a little different, but to be honest with you, I think these replacements look a little better. I would say the bezel could be countersunk a little bit better. For those of you who are super savvy, you might want to maybe massage the hole a little bit. You can get this countersink to sit even more flush, but it's plenty fine. Let me show you. Yeah, so you can see there, it's poking a little bit. You see it pushed in the bezel. The hole is not quite allowing for the countersink angle. The much more critical one, obviously, is, if you remember, I was using the factory screw, which is not great looking. That's the factory screw that you typically use to hold on that lid, and obviously with that head poking out like that, it was having some contact. Well, it was coming very close to contact, depending on the alignment of your lid. I'm betting somebody's lid was going to be over enough that they were going to have contact. So what we need to really replace is this one. This is the most critical one. Yeah, again, there we go. We got good connection there. Much closer. Same condition again. I think the hole could be countersunk a little wider. Certainly looks fine. They are black oxides, so they won't corrode. So that's, I mean, I would say that's pretty good, guys. And like I said, you can massage. As you can see, I do have a bevel designed into it, but to get it to release out of the mold, it wasn't quite the bevel that I had in CAD. So you can see that it does indeed have it. It just may need massaged a little bit. Yeah, so that's that, guys. That's a wrap on this video. I hope I gave you some insight into the processes and the decision making, and you know, just really what it looks like a little bit more. I feel like that's why this video was formatted and kind of was laid out the way it was. Probably boring for some of you guys to watch and think, yeah, who cares about any of this? And those people tend to always vocalize that they don't care. They just want answers in the first 30 seconds, which is fine. Those answers exist elsewhere, whether it's on the website or on the Facebook group, things like that. Those answers exist. This is for those of you that kind of want to understand, or you know, just don't mind watching content and kind of seeing the behind the scenes decision-making process. And as you can see, you know, I'm to my own detriment sometimes. I'm not afraid to change what I'm doing if I do think it's for the greater good or for the better customer experiences. As much as I like I said, 95% I think are really very supportive of what I do, and most of you guys know that I'm here as a car enthusiast, you know, more than an owner. That's how I see myself. I've been a car builder and a car enthusiast first and foremost, always, before I was a business owner. And again, it's like, quite honestly, I know my history more than anybody. I've never really shared my automotive history too much, but believe me, I had always been this way. I always wanted to put out the best outcome that I could, and often it wasn't, you know, I never allowed myself to be driven by the numbers. And obviously when I was younger, you know, I did that to the extent that, you know, I didn't survive. My shop didn't survive, or, you know, I had to relocate, and I caused myself, you know, issues. But it's always the balance of what, you know, what you think you're worth and what you think people are willing to pay, and how well marketed you are, how well positioned you are. There's a lot of balance in business to making money, being profitable, staying profitable, and being able to continue. So, you know, I make these decisions because, you know, it's not always about the short-term win. It's a lot of times it's about really trying to, especially given the timelines, you know, I try to consider all the angles, you know. And so the last thing I think I wanted to do in this scenario with the bezels is for you to finally get them and be like, geez, now I don't have hardware, you know, and I've got to find that hardware. And that's probably, I don't know what percentage of you don't have your hardware, but at this point I can guarantee 100% of you have it. And so that was obviously credit to Ray Saez for kind of like just chiming in at the right time, probably, and being willing to jump on there and kind of help me find something. And you know, it is a workload issue at times. It's trying to be efficient and get the product out to people, but help goes a long way. So thanks to Ray. Everybody thank Ray for your hardware. So he has something to do with that. So that wraps up the bezel video. Obviously, we're going to ship these as expeditiously as we can. I'm getting some machines running, some extra machines, and I'm going to do repairs on a few. We're going to max out the line, and we're really going to push to get all the brackets built. So don't be worried about the bracket thing. It's, you know, I'm going to go as full bore as possible. We're still building some kits. Our back orders on stuff is not bad, and we're going to just continue to try and keep up with it and, you know, keep building brackets. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one.